From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. In my first 4 years, I kept my promise to the workers of Ohio, to the workers of our country. We ended the disaster known as NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the brand new USMCA, Mexico-Canada. That's the best trade deal they say ever made. Actually, the best trade deal I made was the deal with China, but I don't even talk about it. They have to buy $50 billion worth of our products. But after we all had to suffer through that horrible China virus or COVID, I don't talk about it. But this was a great win for Ohio farmers and for Ohio manufacturers. I took on communist China like no administration in history, bringing in hundreds of millions. Think of this. We started with hundreds of millions of dollars the first couple of months, and I said, this is pretty good. We ended up taking in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. Not one president ever took in 10 cents. They never asked them for anything. And we were rocking and rolling, and we were doing great. We had the greatest economy ever. And for our great veterans, we passed VA accountability and VA choice. We did something that nobody... And we had to get that because of guys like Jim Jordan. We had to get it passed through Congress, and we got it passed through Congress, and that was a big deal. We fully rebuilt the U.S. military, and we created Space Force, and I was the first president in decades who started no new wars except I brought our troops back home. We had no new wars, but we defeated ISIS. Everybody said couldn't be done. We did it very quickly. And we have a great military. I tell you, I saw that with ISIS. Once I let them go, I said, go ahead, fellas, do what you have to do. General Raisin Kane. What's your name, General Raisin, sir? What's your last name, Kane? I said, your name's Raisin Kane? I love you. This is what I've been looking for. I've been looking for a guy named Raisin Kane. And he knocked him out. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. And we will restore peace through strength. That's what we need, peace through strength. And I will pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act if China or any other country makes us pay 100 or 200% tariff, which they do. We will make them pay a reciprocal tariff of 100 or 200%. In other words, you screw us and we'll screw you. It's very simple, very fair. We don't do that. And as tariffs on foreign countries go up, taxes on American workers and families will go very substantially down, and will bring businesses back to our country because people are they want to avoid paying the tariffs. It's very simple. It's what other countries do to us. And I had it going, and then we had the gift from China, the COVID come in. We did a phenomenal job in that. Never got the credit. Always got the credit for the military. Always got the credit for ISIS and so many things. Always got the credit for the economy and for no inflation. We did a great job with some unknown disease at the time. Nobody knew what the hell it was. And what we did was a miracle, and we led the world. And when I left office, our stock market was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in, which is a tremendous achievement. We would have gone down the tubes. That would have been in 1929. And speaking of 1929, there are some brilliant Wall Street analysts like Scott and some others, but a brilliant, very brilliant Wall Street analyst that say the only thing good right now about our economy is the stock market. And the only reason that that's good is because people think that Trump is going to be elected president. And if they ever thought that he wasn't, you would end up with a crash, the likes of which we haven't seen since 1929. So they can take that the way they want, but I happen to agree that there's a lot of hope that we get back in. We had a great stock market. We had the most successful economy in the history of our country by far. We had really the most successful economy probably in the history of the world. And people weren't taking advantage of us, and China was paying up. Nobody could get away with what they were getting away with. I made new trade deals with Japan, with South Korea, with Vietnam. We made so many new trade deals. The deals were so bad. I used to sit back and look at these deals. I said, who could have negotiated these deals? They were so one-sided. We changed them all. On day one, I will terminate crooked Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate. We will restore law and order to our country. And I'm going to indemnify all police officers and law enforcement officials throughout the United States to protect them from being destroyed by the radical left for taking strong action on crime. We're going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they ever have been before. And we're going to be working with Democrat mayors and Democrat governors if we have to. You know, our dying cities, they're all run by Democrats. We're going to work with them, and we're going to restore our cities. We will take over our horribly run, horrible, the capital of the United States of America, Washington, D.C. We will clean it up, renovate it, and rebuild our capital cities so that it will be an absolute beacon of beauty and peace and prosperity, and no longer be the crime capital virtually of the world. People are being killed there every single week. People are being killed. I lost a young man who was fantastic in the administration 2 weeks ago. He was going to pick up his wife, and he was waiting for her. And a thug came along and said, "I want your car." And he shot him and killed him as the wife is coming out to be picked up by her husband, who she loved. And he died almost immediately. And we can't let this happen to our country. We can't let this happen. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto our children. And I will not give one penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And something I can't believe I have to say, but I have to say it because the Democrats are pushing it. I will keep men out of women's sports, okay? I will fully uphold the Second Amendment. We will protect innocent life, and we will and we don't have free speech anymore. Today you speak and they want to put you in jail. Today you speak and they want to put you in jail. Even if you're telling the truth, they want to put you in jail. We will restore free speech to our nation, and I will secure our elections. We will have fair and honest elections again. But until then, you have to go and you have to vote. You have to vote like you've never voted before. And I said it before and I'll say it again. This is all about November 5th, the most important day. I really believe this. You know, I used to say in 2016, this is going to be the most important vote. I didn't say that in 2020 because we had the country going really well. In fact, we had a statement, keep America great. It was going to replace MAGA. In a certain way, I'm glad it didn't, because MAGA is MAGA. It's always going to be MAGA, as opposed to CAG. But it was keep America great. And America was great. We made it great. And then we had a bad election. A horrible thing happened because of COVID, but a lot of reasons, and they cheated like hell. They won't be able to do that again. They're not going to be able to do it again. We're not going to let that happen again. But you have to get out and vote. But I used to say that 2016 is the most important vote, and I actually meant it. This election, 2024, blows 2016 away. It's not even close. Our country is failing. We're a failing nation. Our country is failing. We're a nation in decline. We're going to turn this around. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. We're going to love each other again. We're going to unite as a country. We are going to create this country. We are going to have a country that's greater than it has ever been before. Go out and vote. We love you. I love being with you. This is a special place to me. We won every single time. And vote for Bernie Moreno. He's a great guy. He'll be a great, great senator. Thank you very much, Ohio. We love you. Thank you. God bless you all.